like architectural stuff, and then I've all done some private kind of portrait commissions and things like that. And it's been very varied. So if you go to my website, you'll see that the kinds of stuff I do is just kind of all over the place. But my very favorite thing to work on is kind of architectural oil paintings. I don't know why. I just love representing the city and the environments that kind of make our world interesting, the world around us. And the man-made environment is just, I think, beautiful and something to be really proud of and to bring attention to. So what I try to do with my work is bring kind of an artistic eye to it, so people look at it and go, wow, there's something really special about that building and I never really noticed it, or you know, I can feel the environment in that painting. So that's something I do. Other stuff I do, so what I'm doing right now with this is I've got a piece of linoleum, like a soft piece of linoleum. I've been carving this one, and this is a photograph I took of, and it's probably hard to see on there, some of the stonework and sculptural work on the outside of a building, which is in Deptford. It's in New Cross, London, right around the corner from where I used to work in studios. And I just thought, this is like a city hall, like a town hall kind of building, and I just thought it was beautiful, so I need to do a painting of this. I'll do a larger painting of it, or maybe a watercolor of it at some point on the stream. But right now I'm working on this linoleum wood block, not a wood block, obviously a linoleum block print. Eventually I'll get back to that as well. So there's little ongoing projects I got going in the background. I need to get myself a block cutting set, because I started that at a friend's house and I haven't finished it yet. Other kinds of work that I've done a long time ago. This is like an example of quite an old piece, some pen and ink work. Let's see, is that going to show up? Is it so bright that you can't see it? Let's see if I can adjust that a little bit. There we go. I think that helped. So, you know, these are like pen and ink studies. This is like Park City, Utah. This is City Hall, Salt Lake City, I think. I think it's called City Hall. And this one, these like little series of drawings I was doing of Utah was for a company where I was doing tourism, doing kind of tourist memorabilia and things like that. So this kind of stuff was eventually printed up. There's a t-shirt, kind of promotional t-shirt for Salt Lake City that I did a long time ago, or that a company did based on my drawings. So you can see that one ended up here. So there's the original. Oh, it looks like the top of it's cut. Oh yeah, I pulled the top of it off with some tape. That's unfortunate. So anyway, that's the kind of thing I did a lot of kind of graphic design that ended up as embroidery or logos and things like that. And then when I moved to London, I did some magazine layout and some photography for products, things like that. Did a lot of tattoo design. Wouldn't say great tattoo design, but I've done, I mean, this is a piece I did as a tattoo as a sleeve for somebody, which is on my website. That's just the overall sketch of it, and then I did it in 3 pieces, so, or in 2 pieces it looks like. I thought I did it in 3, yeah. That's the top and that's the bottom, so that was a sleeve for somebody. Kids book stuff, you know, I've done a lot of little character design. Here's some, this is a first design I did for a tattoo for myself. I'm going to go a bit slower. I knew I wanted this woman with this beautiful Art Nouveau hair, and I just wanted a beautiful woman on my arm. I wanted some birds. I wanted to put a bird on it, and see if I have the final design for that. Taco mate, how are you? It's evening here in London, but how are you this morning? Thanks for dropping in. You can call me Joel Dude, totally. I think people have called me Joel Dude in the past. So I was just saying, Taco Mate, I figured what I would do to start off today's stream would be just to give a bit of background about myself and who I am and what kinds of work I've done, why my portfolio on my website looks so varied. It's good to hear. You got any big plans for today? So this is this is a tattoo design I did for a girl, Phoenix, rising from the ashes, standard. Different variations on that. I did a tattoo design for a guy who wanted to Michael Jackson, and he wanted all this different music memorabilia around, and it turned into a big tattoo. These are just ideas for graphic design that I did for a book cover. Raking leaves? No way, man. Yeah, I need to get out in my back garden and do some work as well, because, we have like an apple tree and a pear tree, and the fruit gets everywhere, and it's such a pain in the ass. There's a painting on my website called All Things Great and Small, which is for a children's bedroom that I did, like an oil painting, based on Art Nouveau kind of Alphonse Mucha stuff. This is the initial drawing for that. Just some figure study stuff. So anyway, the reason I'm showing you this stuff is just to kind of give a background about the types of things I've done and worked on. Yeah, the birds get into it and get drunk. Yep, they're pretty much fermented apples back there by now. But the problem with the ones that you cut your apple tree down. Yeah, you know what? My wife keeps saying we should cut that tree down because it's so much more hassle than it's worth, but I like the privacy and like the shade that it gives in the backyard. But the worms have been coming up and eating like the apples before I can even get back there and clean them up, and they've pretty much destroyed my lawn with like worm holes and things coming up. Wormholes. They travel through time. Okay, so here's another tattoo design I did for somebody, based on the same thing, like an Art Nouveau style. Alphonse Mucha is the main influence on these kinds of things. He wanted a genie. His wife is named Jeannie, so he wanted a genie coming out of a lamp. So that's that one. I really thought I had the design for my own tattoo, which I did, which is very similar. It's along these lines. I don't think it's in here. So that's just kind of like a little bit of my sketchbook, or one of my many sketchbooks. Yeah, thanks, man. I think it turned into a pretty nice tattoo. And I don't know if you saw before, I think I was probably talking to myself, but before you got here, I long time ago worked for a company doing designs for tourist, like tourist merchandise and stuff like that. So it was all about promoting the cities and stuff like that. Wyoming, Colorado, Nevada, and Salt Lake City, Utah. So this was like a drawing I did for them, like a test drawing of one of the buildings, one of the iconic buildings in Salt Lake City. I did a few of those, and then they brought all those in and made t-shirts out of them, so I have one of the old t-shirts. So these are like famous buildings and famous kind of parts of Utah, Salt Lake City, Utah. So that's a long time ago I did that kind of stuff. Since then I've worked various creative jobs and non-creative jobs. Still working full-time. Okay, so into the art. What I'm going to do is just a quick 10-minute, 15-minute sketch. In here. Okay, here we go. It's got some paper. So you can see on my screen this picture of this beautiful girl, and she's next to this big building. This is in London, kind of right by the Tate gallery. And I think I want to do a painting of it or some sort of artwork based on it. I might do a postcard or something. Some art therapy group wants me to do a postcard for charity auction for them. So maybe I'll do this, maybe something like this. But today, just to get warmed up before I start painting, I thought I would do like a quick sketch just to feel this out. So that's what I'm going to start off by doing while we listen to some Pearl Jam. Taco, let me know if the video is okay. I don't know if you saw when I came on earlier. I came on about 20 minutes ago, 30 minutes ago, and had a lot of technical problems. So let me know if there's any problem with the video today. Okay, here we go. Let's just get straight into it. I'm gonna do a little bit of measure. I'm working off my screen here, so it's not perfect. It's not ideal. See, normally I would I prefer standing up, and I don't like working down on my desk, just because. Joe Furk, how are you? Video looks good. Okay, thanks. That's good. I think my internet's just having a bit of lag today, so I can't tell if things are lagging for everybody else, but that's good to hear it's not. What you up to today, you Joe Furk? So yeah, like I was saying, I prefer not to work down on a flat surface. I prefer to work upright so I can get the right perspective on what I'm doing. I always find if I work like this and then stick it up, things have gone off a little bit. Doing good? That's good. Good. An eraser, I need a rubber eraser out here. Just getting up, so I have to yet to decide. Nice. I love it when you get up on a Saturday and you don't have any plans and you don't have to feel like you have to do anything if you don't want to, you know. Okay. And as you can see, I don't have a proper drawing desk in this room either. It's just my little computer desk. So where are you, Joe Furk? Where are you based? And what about you, Taco Mate? You guys said good morning, so I'm assuming you're both maybe West Coast USA? Maybe I've asked you before. Apologies if I have. Joe Furk, thank you for the host. I really appreciate that, man. Joey Furk. Connecticut, nice. I've never been there, actually. Okay, let's see. I'm going to rough this in really quick. I'm just going to get like a sense of where the head falls, where that neck comes down. Kind of angle the shoulders really fast here. Don't want to overthink this. I know the head sticks out. Let's just talk through this a little bit. The head sticks out almost halfway into the drawing. So if I measure where that stops, it goes just beyond, and that's almost perfect. Oops, throw my pencil around. It's almost exactly where I want it. So I'm going to make a little bit of a dark mark here, so I know that that's where I want the glasses to fall. The angle of the glasses is kind of like this, or quite an extreme angle. East Coast, just caught up in some sleep. You're in Canada, Taco, in the prairies. Nice. That sounds beautiful. Do you live in a little house? Sorry, that's a bad joke. On Saturdays, everything's up to 3 p.m. for me. Morning, okay. Same with me, Taco. Like, you know, this morning I, potted around a bit and got a few things around the house done and watched my son for a little while, and that took me right up till 3 o'clock, and then I started getting ready to stream. Thought I would start at 4 and then had a lot of problems. So, that's how it goes. Okay. Let's keep going with this. nose. The nose is here. Then we want it coming straight to the side of the ear here. And that means the hair kind of start here, that bun in the back of the hair. What's with the putty eraser? Joe Firk, this is called a kneaded rubber eraser. This is an old one. I've probably used it way too much, so it looks kind of dark and dirty because it's picked up so much. But it's basically a really great way to erase. Picks up the graphite really well. Yeah, Taco Mate. For now, I'm just going to eyeball this angle here. To black. Okay, come on. One thing I need to make sure I do is get the neck long enough here, because it's one of the features that make her stand out in this piece, I think. So her face, I'm just kind of measuring the length of her face, and I'm comparing that to the length of the neck and where that falls, trying to get the angle at the same time. Let's do it with this hand. Make sure I've got this right. Okay, so based on this, I think the neck needs to come down to about there, and I think this shirt needs to be a little bit more back here. So yeah, for those who have just stopped in, I am just doing a little bit of a warm-up today. I like to do a little bit of sketching from time to time, and I'm thinking about using this idea, this image, for something more. So I figured I would get familiar with the image, do a sketch. You can just see the tip of that building going up back there. Constantly playing with this eraser, I never really realized it. Kind of realize some of the weird shit you do while you're on stream. Where is my ruler? I'm gonna grab a ruler, guys. while I was down there, I came across this sketch pad as well. Just give you a quick preview of what's inside. Not a preview, I'll show you what kind of stuff I've done here. If I can, if I've got space. Roll this. So here's like a figure drawing from a live study that I did not very long ago. Just charcoal, toned the paper with charcoal really quickly. This was like a 10-minute pose of some guy with his ball sack hanging out. And yeah, so I like to go to like live drawing sessions where you do like 10 poses or 5 poses in an hour or whatever it is. So that's something that I do occasionally. Still like to keep in touch with my figure drawing. A lot of figure drawing in here. Nothing, you know, these are some of the really quick poses. Let's see, got anything else interesting in here? Thought I had some museum stuff in here. Oh, here we go. So in London there's a nice museum called the V&A, Victoria and Albert. It's full of like everything from history, like sculptures and art and artifacts. So this is like one of my favorite sculptures there. It's an amazing sculpture of like this goddess stabbing, or no, well she's cutting his tongue out basically. This I can't remember who it is. He wears a mask, so he's got a mask on top of his head. He's got his tongue out and she's grabbed it and she's kind of severing it with a knife. It's a beautiful sculpture there, so I sat in front of it quite a few times and tried to draw it. And it's tough. And it's never quite successful. So it's just something else I like to do occasionally is meet up with some other artists and try drawing stuff on the spot in museums. Okay, got my ruler. Just gonna knock that in a little bit more solid. Yeah, Taco Mate. That's exactly the reason I moved to London. The access to art, a lot of culture, just lots of stuff to do, lots of music, lots of events all the time. Always something happening. We've got Chinatown, we got Chinese New Year, so many cultural events. Oktoberfest, obviously, like Christmas markets with like German Christmas markets. It's all just like a great kind of visual experience, and London itself is just an amazingly visual city. It's a beautiful mix of old and new. So my mom was born in London. She moved to California a long time ago. She moved to America when she was like 18, but I still knew that I had the right to request citizenship through my mom. So that's what I did. Like, I found myself at a point in life where I really wanted to be somewhere else. I really wanted to experience something new. And I didn't have anything keeping me where I was in Utah, Salt Lake City. Everything that I think that I had to offer, and especially artistically, I thought had been kind of tapped out. I'd gone to school there and couldn't find anything else to get into, and I was worried about jobs for artists there. Yeah, I mean, it was a really good decision, if I don't say so myself. Like, it was probably the best decision I've ever made, like life decision, because I've really enjoyed being here. There's a lot of great things. There's a lot of things that are not great too. I mean, it's not all perfect anywhere, I don't think. Now this is where, like, having this thing laying flat gets, yeah, everywhere definitely has its flaws. People always tell me, people here in London always say, why would you move here? It's like busy, it's dirty, there's too many people, you gotta take public transport everywhere because you can't drive, it's too busy, it's too trafficy. Like, why would you leave America where the streets are wide open? Or you're in Canada. They say they say the same thing about Canada, and they usually assume I'm Canadian. Don't know why, because my accent is kind of nondescript. I've been in London for 10 years, so I think my accent has started to soften quite a bit. So they always assume I'm Canadian, and they always say, why would you move from America or Canada if they assume I'm Canadian? And I just tell them, what I told you, that there's a lot happening here, and it's really good for art, it's good for culture, it's good for access. And then they start to go, oh yeah, I take it all for granted. I've lived here all my life, I take all that stuff for granted. Yeah, it can be horrible trying to drive everywhere, but I think that, I don't know if you've ever been to Europe or to London, but it can be, because everything's so tight together and tightly packed and small, just the space, when you get to America, when you get to Canada, it just feels so expansive, the space. And they really like that. It's like the culture of having, and everybody's got big houses, big cheap houses. So that's kind of appealing to them, and they don't see why you would want to leave and go to a place that's expensive, like so expensive to live. It is expensive here, but it's not something that's undoable. I mean, me and my wife have pretty regular jobs. And we get by. We have a flat right close to central London, You'd rather drive. See, I really miss driving. I've got my driver's license here, but I don't have a car because I don't really need it, because I take the train to work every day. The angle. Jenny G! How are you? Thank you for stopping in. Good morning to you out there in Texas. What are you up to this fine Saturday? There have been major changes in where people choose to live in American and Canadian cities. What do you mean, like what major changes? The bus system isn't great here and I have to walk. Yeah, see that, Jofert, that was my problem with, you feeling blah? Glad you, oh, thanks so much, Jenny. It's so awesome that you came by. I really appreciate it. Yeah, so Jofert, I had the same problem when I lived in America. I had a car and I had to drive quite a ways to work every morning, but if I had car trouble, which I did sometimes, and I had to get a bus, it was like freaking, there's like almost no way. It took me so long to get to work. The public transport here is really great, but it is still expensive. It's super expensive. So Jenny, since you're just popping in, I'll just kind of catch you up on what's going on. It's a bit gloomy? No way, Jenny. Well, I can't speak because right now it is very gloomy outside. It's very gray and cloudy. But you know what? There's so much happening. There's so much going on here. in terms of art, anyway. There's lots going on here. We've got the Ai Weiwei show is going on here. The food's not great, but you can get food from all over the world here. There's plenty of good food. Just not the English food. The English food's not that great. Who else have we got coming? Oh, we got Arbok. We got the Arbok show coming. That's going to be awesome. Montreal. Yeah, Montreal I've heard is really great. Like, definitely like the best of like a big city, but it's still clean and like people are still nice to you and stuff like that. So anyway, I'm just starting off today's stream by doing a bit of sketching. I just wanted to do a kind of a quick sketch to get into the mood for painting. And I'm also going to potentially use this piece for either a postcard or a painting of some sort later on, because it's one that I took a long time ago and I've always wanted to do something with it. So I keep like a big backlog of photographs I've taken, and I just kind of keep them in a folder where I know that I come back to them and have a look through them every once in a while and go, yeah, that's something I totally want to still do. I think I got the nose way wrong there. No, I got the glasses wrong. I got the glasses wrong, not the nose. Totally feels laid back. I'd like to visit Montreal. The only place in Canada I've been is like just over the border, where kind of like from Ohio. My dad used to live near Cleveland. I did like it there. It did have a cool feel to it. Let's see how this is looking so far. So yeah, just a quick sketch, just to help me get the sense of. Let's put the earrings in. So yeah, I was asked by some sort of art therapy organization here to do some work for them for charity. They just want me to do a little postcard to sell at a charity auction. So I might use this piece as something like that. Yeah, Jenny, I know exactly what you're saying. Like, people, well, I don't know, it's in London, it's like everybody's really in a hurry. Like, it's just really fast paced and people don't take the time to even look at you, which is fine by me. But people, when they come from America to visit, comment on how everybody's so busy and so like in a hurry and kind of rude. And I can understand like how that's not cool to people coming from America. But when you go back to America, when I go back to America, hey Rawberry, how are you? Thanks for dropping in. When I go back to America, I get culture shock again because I've been here for quite a long time now, and people are way too like in your face in America. They're like trying to talk to you all the time. I don't want to be talked to unless I mean, that sounds antisocial, but I don't want to be talked to by strangers. I want people to come up to me and go, how are you? Like when you go into a store, they're just like all over you trying to sell. Here, they don't even look at you. In fact, even when you go up to the register to buy something, They just kind of hold their hand out and wait for the money. We need like a good mix. It's not a good mix. Somebody's getting in on my berry game. Raw berry and Jenny berry. We got 2 berries. I'm stoked. You guys, we are listening to Pearl Jam 10 today. I woke up this morning needing to hear this classic album. Haven't listened to it for a long time. Yeah, it is the biggest lie ever, Joe Frick. I mean, I rarely tell the truth when somebody says, "How are you?" Unless I'm feeling good, then I tell them the truth. But, you know, if you're, like, stressed out and you got shit going on in your life, you're not going to tell anybody that. People in public just tend to pretend to really care about you as a person. They don't know who you are, you know, they're just kind of like... And I'd rather just not pretend. It's like when you go to a social event that you don't really want to, that you're not really into, and you've got to put on the smile and you got to make small talk, and that's just something that bothers me. I don't want to do that. However, streaming is totally different. It's like you're putting yourself out there for a reason, and anybody that you meet who cares to stop in and see what you're doing is somebody who's got at least some little bit of interest in what you personally do. And that's totally different. It has a totally different feel from like just being talked to by random strangers. You're the social person that talks to strangers, Jenny? Really? So, like, when you talk to strangers, like, my mom's like that, too. And I always say to my mom, like, what do you want to know about them? And are you, like, hoping to start, like, a long-term friendship or relationship with these strangers? Or are you just really interested in people that you don't know? Because I'm always like, even my neighbors, I'm like, I don't really want to know about their lives, you know. Maybe I should want to know about them, but I don't. Yeah, Taco. It's funny how, like, people don't look at you. I think people are afraid that if they look at you, you could be some weirdo and, you know, give the wrong idea. Okay, I'm just about done with this. I'm not going to spend too much time on this today because this isn't the point of today. I'm going to get painting in a minute. This is my warm-up. This is my... I get to sit down for a minute and have some coffee, which I've just finished. Jenny, that's so awesome. The world needs people like you, and I'm glad that people like you are in this world. Because if everybody was like me, it would be just like, you're right, it would be gloomy. Maybe that's why this place suits me. I'm not a gloomy person. I'm definitely not a gloomy person. I'm just kind of a private person, I guess. But I totally know what you mean. Like, kind of a pleasant exchange can sometimes be really nice. Like when somebody's just that you don't know, who doesn't have to be nice to you, just is nice to you. I totally know, like, that can be really... It can brighten your day. But, see, I've never had, like, a... Like, don't let this sound the wrong way, but I've just never had some, like, pretty girl come up and be like, "Hi, how are you? Like, I want to know about you," because girls are worried that that's going to come off like the wrong thing, and then, you know, and it wouldn't matter with me. I'm not going to be like all weird about that, and that's cool. But I think that they're afraid of what guys would do, you know, or you know, how do you choose the right safe person to talk to? Is it just old ladies you talk to, you know, like that's. But I'm coming from this mentality where here, like, people are really careful. Like Taco said. Your job would be great if there weren't any customers, Joe Firk. There's not much to this drawing. It's mostly about the extreme angle and just that kind of the composition, I guess, of the person down here, right down in the corner. So let's see. Oh man. I did exactly what I thought I would do. Now, Jenny, I think you do quite a lot of watercolor, kind of like sitting down on a flat surface. Maybe you can enlighten me on this. Oil's hype. Yes. Oh, Jenny, you're out. Okay, cool. Have a good lunch. Yeah, you're gonna do some oil later. That's gonna be awesome. I'll try to stop in. So what I was going to say to Jenny, but she's on her way out, is that every time I work on a flat surface like this and I pick it up, this drawing's obviously distorted. Things are too elongated. I don't know how you avoid that while you're working on a desk surface. I just need to work flat. I need to work straight up. Like, I can only really work accurately like this. Yeah, that's a good point, Taco Mate. I guess you could use like an architectural drafting table and keep things up at an angle, which helps. Definitely helps. Still too much of an angle for me. I mean, you can only really be accurate if it's directly on the same plane in front of you, like directly parallel to your eye, to your line of sight. Okay, that's going to do this. Let's put in a couple more strong lines where I think it might help. Sit in bed using my legs to draw things. Nice. nice and relaxed way to do it. Just put a bit of shading into this. Been a couple years since you drew anything, Joe Frick. What you waiting for, man? Sometimes the ideas just don't come, I guess. And that's hard. I've had times where I just don't have great ideas for drawing, so I don't do a lot. I usually have some ideas in my, in the bag for later. I try to keep a backlog of too many ideas that I know I'm not going to get to all of them, just so I don't run dry at any point. Sometimes it's hard to decide what you feel like doing. Clouds up here. You know, professional, but you've drawn out your tattoo, the inspiration to come. Yeah. So you drew out your tattoo before you had it done? Did you design it? That's interesting. Okay guys, there's my warm-up drawing for today. Girl with building. Girl next to erection. Girl sitting next to erect building. Not perfectly accurate. It's getting there. It was a quick one. It's a warm-up. I haven't done any kind of sketching for quite a while, besides preliminary sketching for paintings. So it's nice to just do a little bit every once in a while for me. I should probably do it every single day. It's hard to find the time, but see, laying down it looks a lot more. That actually looks a lot more accurate to me than it does standing up. It makes a big difference. Oh, nice. You had a bracelet made out of it. That's awesome. Okay, so give me a few minutes to reset. Probably take me about 5 minutes to get everything set up for painting now. Bear with me, I'll be back in a minute. Let's see. Let's get some more music going on here. We've listened to the classic Pearl Jam 10. Now we need something else classic. Not that. Come to do that. You're waiting until you can afford it, yeah. Tattoos can be expensive. Like, yeah, I've only got two. I've got one pretty big one here, and I've got a smaller one over here, up here. I wish I could get more. I can't afford it. The next one I'm gonna get is a Triforce, though. I'm gonna get like the Zelda Triforce crest. I've been wanting to get that for a long time. Okay guys, here's some music while I get 3 set up. Hang out and enjoy. Close to 500 at least. What, you mean for the Triforce? They won't. I'm not going to get it huge. It won't cost that much. But yours, you're saying yours will cost 500? Yeah, Joe, that's pretty expensive, man. Where are you gonna get it done? Is it gonna be like a sleeve or like on your back? That's pretty big. $500 is pretty big, man. Or is it just really intricate? guys, I am here. Don't worry, I haven't left you. Just getting myself situated, ready for painting. Give me 2 more minutes. I'll be right back. Have I got a follower? Where's my alert? Guys, for some reason my OBS didn't show that follower alert, and I heard it, but I couldn't see it. And I missed it on the live stream, so can you tell me who that was? And thank you very much, whoever that was. I'm really sorry I missed it on the screen there. Sometimes OBS is a little bit temperamental for me. Like, 2 times it's had problems with the follower alert. One time it wouldn't play the sound, this time it's not playing the picture. Okay. I'm really sorry I missed that. Amira, hey, how are you? I can't read. Nissan 84. Were you the new follower, Amira, that I just missed? Thank you for the follow. Nissan 84, I did not know that was your Twitch screen name. And now I know. Or is this a new, have you started a new Twitch account so you can watch other things besides stream Final Fantasy? Thank you for the follow, Amira, I really appreciate it. Guys, Nissan 84 is a friend in real life. Somebody I am friends with at work, and somebody who streams Final Fantasy 14. He's a big time gamer. Awesome girl. Say hello. Welcome, Nissan. Welcome her to the chat. Joe Ferk, you had your back turned for a few seconds. That's okay. It's not your job. It's not your job to watch the chat. Come on, give me a break. Trying to get my setup here for the painting going. It's almost got it. Thanks, Amira. It's this is the 8th session on it, so it's probably getting close to halfway through. So let's get going. Let's get going on it. So Amira, what I did for the first like half an hour today was I did a little bit of sketching, did a little bit of drawing. I'll show you what I did. I just thought I'd warm up a little bit. So I warmed up by doing a little sketch here. Girl next to building kind of thing. And that was just a warm up, just to get myself in spirit. Stupid buffering on free pub Wi-Fi. Oh, Kemasoma is in the house, you guys. We got Kemasoma here, another friend from real life. Kevin, thank you very much for being here. We got Amira in the house, Nissan 84. Yeah, look who the cat dragged in. Sitting in the pub, watching the football, I'm assuming. Having a drink. You said it, Joe Ferk. Okay. Who are you to complain, man? It's free. Can't complain. Right. I'm going to get going on painting. So I started off with some drawing. Got myself warmed up. So what I'm going to do is start putting in a little bit of the kind of warmer color. It's looking like still too gray. The photo I'm working from, which you should be able to see there, just make sure you can see it. Yeah, you can see it over there on the right hand side of the screen. It is quite a lot kind of tan, brown. Quite a lot more tan. So I'm going to start putting in some of that. Let's see, let's get something. Put this on random. So much shit on my screen, it's so hard to keep up with. So I'm going to do a glaze. I think I'm going to start this by either doing a glaze or knocking everything back a little bit. When I say knocking everything back, you'll see what that means. In fact, I'm going to do that first. I'm going to knock everything back first. It's a pound a pint. Dear, oh, see, you're paying more for the beer. That's how they're paying for their free Wi-Fi. So, yeah, I said I'm going to knock this back. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put some darker color on it to take everything down a little bit. And then I'm going to start bringing the highlights back out. And what that's going to do is just give me a little bit more depth. Because right now it's feeling kind of clean, a little bit too clean. And the building in the photograph looks like it's aged and weathered and worn and dirty. And I want to give it more of that feel of being dirty. So part of the way I can do that Joe Ferk, starting to think you're going to knock it back with a chain and ball. I'm just going to knock it back physically. So I'm going to knock down the color. I'm going to knock it all back down. I'm going to, well, you know, one of my art teachers used to say, destroy the painting and bring it back out, because you get depth from that. So I'm going to put a thin layer thin layer of darker paint on there. I think what I'll use is this. This is a lovely brush. It's quite a big brush. So big it's hard to control. And while I knock this back down, I'm going to use a warm color, so it's going to warm the whole thing up as well. C6103. Thank you for the follow. How are you today? On this fine Saturday evening, afternoon, morning, depending on where you are. Hello, C6103. Do you ever get any C3PO jokes thrown at you? That's awesome. Glad to hear you're having a good day. Thank you for the follow and for stopping in. Got some great people in the chat today. We've had visits from some great artists already in the last hour. It's an exciting stream today. I did some drawing a little bit earlier. Finished with the drawing, just getting into the painting now. And I'm just getting ready to do something kind of horrifying to this painting. This is an exciting part to watch, I gotta admit. I like watching artists do this if they're daring enough to do it. Not very many that I watch do this, because it's kind of about speed. Sometimes it's about producing the painting and getting it out of the way. But if you want it to have a lot of depth, and you want it to have some, you know, something more than just an immediate surface that you see, you've got to really layer it up and let interesting things happen. So what I'm going to do is push this whole thing down and then bring some of the highlights back out. I'm just trying to get the color right here, which is important. So Kemma, what are you doing in the pub besides drinking? And thanks again for coming in and saying hi. I want to get this thing wetter. I'm going to get this paint really, really wet. It's going to drip. It's like it's actually going to... I'm just going to splash it on there a bit. Don't worry, I know what I'm doing. Don't be completely horrified. I want some of this. I mean, if you look at that building, in the picture, you'll see oh shit. Look what I just did to my wall. It's alright. I got paint. Okay, I'm liking this. That building and that painting is dripping with like years and years of soot coming down it. I'm ruining it! I knew Joe Frick, I knew somebody was going to say that. I'm not ruining it, I promise you I'm not. I'm only just improving it. Just this is part of the process. What I am ruining is my wall, though. That was quite a messy thing I just did. Might not have sound on the strings of the pub. Good point, Amira. Good point. One thing this does, this technique that I'm doing now, which is not really a technique. You were a LOTR fan. Nice. In fact, that's what you might do on your birthday, watch Lord of the Rings. What better thing to do on your birthday than watch Lord of the Rings? I can only think of a couple things that I like more than chilling out and watching movies on my birthday. I will not mention them. Yep. Totally can't watch enough. Which one's your favorite? Joe Kirk, which is your favorite out of the trilogy? If you're into skydiving, there's one better thing. I'm not into skydiving. Well, I've never tried it. I'd like to try it someday. So one thing this is going to do, what I'm doing right now, this ruining technique that I kind of invented myself, which I've done quite a lot, is it unifies the painting. Because before I was kind of skipping all over the place, using different colors, and this is one building, it's all got one tone to it. It's got one palette to it. I've been using a limited palette anyway, but this is really going to bring the colors into the same tonal and value kind of region. And then I can start bringing the highlights back out, and it's going to really make this thing feel more aged and authentic and realistic. I mean, especially up here, right here, I'm liking what's happening already. It worked really well. I don't want to lose all this drip, all this really drippy stuff here, because it actually looks a lot like what is on the building. I'm gonna have to open a window. It's getting really fumy in here. Got lots of paint fumes going on. Getting high. Not in a good way. See how that just warmed up? Still trying to work in the direction of my original brush strokes. Yeah, I'm totally grunging it up a lot. Toning it down, I'm knocking it back. Now, this is what you can do once you've done this. Once you've done this toning down, I'm just going to open the window. I got my rag here. Got my painting rag. And I'm going to start taking some of this back off because it's not going to dry really quickly. So where I really want it to stay highlighted, I can rub this stuff back off and just get a little bit more of that on there where I want it. So, like I was just saying, now what I can do, come in with my rag while this is all still wet, and bring the highlights back out immediately. in the ring, you know, his involvement. Don't worry about that. But yeah, it was kind of, took me a little while to get over the fact that there was no Tom Bombadil. Okay, so are you guys kind of seeing what's happening with this? Like, hope you don't think I ruined it. I know it probably looked a lot cleaner and prettier before. That's not what I want, though. That's not what I'm going for. And you'll see as this thing progresses that it's going to, you're probably going to not see much of what I just did in the end. Most of it's going to be covered with top layers of paint, but it will add richness, it will add depth that wasn't there before, that would have been too clean if I hadn't done it. Kind of annoying character to read. We haven't got checked before and just put in this. I don't remember him being boring to read. I remember loving that part of the book. It's been a long time since I read it, but I remember loving that part. That's why I was disappointed when he wasn't in the movie. Okay, so I'm gonna, I think I'm done doing what I wanted to do with that layer. So I'm gonna bring the camera up and show you a little detail of what's happened to the painting. So you'll regain your trust in me. You can almost walk right into that painting. Nice. See, it's come back out. Really doesn't look like you could just walk in. Thank you, Nissan. By the way, Amira, where did you get that name from? And why didn't you use your old screen name? Do you have like a different one now, just for checking out other people? Do you own like an '84 Nissan? Okay. Let me bring my OBS up so I can see what you're seeing here. The other one was too embarrassing. So what is the Nissan about? Is it Nissan? Nissan. People in England say Nissan. In America they say Nissan. You do a quick dare. Daniel, 20XX, how are you? Can I do a quick dare? What do you mean by that? Because of the Nissan Amira. That's awesome. I like that, Amira. Okay, so here's the kind of quality of the painting now. You can see it kind of feels a bit grungy, a bit dirty, like the building actually does feel. I've got those dark kind of brown tones in there, which is what I wanted, because before it was too gray. It was too kind of blue-gray. See that? So I've erased kind of back out some of the highlights there. You can see the underpainting plenty. English way, Nissan. So it got a little bit darker in there. It kind of has that depth, which is probably why you can feel like you could walk into it. You know, now you've got that kind of, you can feel that kind of going into a darker place there. But this is the part I really like. I mean, see those drips there? I mean, that really reflects what it looks like in real life. There's some age to that thing over here as well. Got all those kind of watermarks going down. Same over here. Yeah, I think it's more interesting to look at now. Got some splatter marks on here. So anyway, I'm going to keep working on top of that. That is the technique. That technique takes some balls to do it, because you've got to be prepared to lose the painting for a few minutes and bring it back to life. Sorry guys. Get this thing readjusted. There we go. Ruined nothing but my wall. It didn't ruin the wall, don't worry, it'll come off. Plus I have this paint color matched for the very reason that I paint over it anytime I need to. Okay, so yeah, it is very dark outside, Jofert, because it's almost 7 o'clock here London time. So it's evening, and it's been a gray, cloudy day out there. Self-wedgie, yes or no? Are you serious, man? Daniel? No way. Why would I do that? I dare you to give yourself a self-wedgie. Thanks for stopping in, though. Thanks for the suggestion. I'm not going to take you up on it, so don't bother asking. Okay guys, I've just been informed that dinner is on its way. So I got about 20 minutes. I'm going to finish I'm going to start using some of this lighter color that I mixed earlier. And I'm going to go into some of these light colors on the wall. So you should see things start to pop out pretty quick here. I'm getting high. Let me tell you, I'm getting high in here. I have opened the window, but it is not ventilated well enough. I don't think I'm going to put any birds into this. I am going to put some pedestrians down in here. In fact, while I've got this dark color on my palette down here, I'm going to block in, because I still have the ghost images of some of the people I originally put in. So I'm going to put them back, just so I know where they stand. There's people coming in and out of the station there. Guy here walking. There's a lot more people in the picture than I'm going to actually put on there. I'm not going to put nearly as many pedestrians because I don't think it needs that many. It'll start to get a little bit too complex looking, and I don't want all the focus to go onto the people. I want the focus on the building. So that is where I'm going to try to keep it. But without the people, I think this one looks a little bit too desolate. I think being able to put life into my painting makes it look even better. Thanks, Joe Ferk. Is that what you mean? Do you mean by the people, or do you mean the craziness I just did, like splashing shit all over it? Because I think that brings energy and life to it a little bit as well. It's not the kind that you'd be able to put your finger on and go, I know exactly why that feels like it's got some realism to it, but you will be able to sense that there's a lot of layers and a lot of depth, hopefully, if I've done my job right. This guy's a bit too big. Excuse me for 1 second, I'll be right back. Guys, still with me? I'm here. Yeah, I mean, the people, the craziness, any kind of thing that makes it stand out, draw your attention for a second, and bring it back to the rest of the painting. Thanks, Joe Ferk. It's a nice way to put it. And that's exactly what I'm trying to do with it, so I appreciate that. My heart is like a wheel. Thank you, Nissan. Thanks for So I just need to raise that dark spot a bit. So I'm just going to do that right now. Comes up to here. So beatbox, this is like an example of some of the more mellow music I listen to. I listen to literally... The only thing I don't listen to very much is country and western. I listen to hip hop. I listen to, yeah, every extreme. But country and western I don't find very much that I can really relate to. But I like the sound of like a steel guitar. I like the sound of a banjo. So I do listen to some western music. I love Johnny Cash. I like Willie Nelson. Like I like the old classics and stuff. Beatbox, what kind of music do you listen to? That's the question. With a name like Beatbox, you gotta have some strong opinions about music, I'm assuming. Okay guys, I really gotta stop. I'm just starting to really feel... I mean, this is the fun part. After you've done that whole knocking back, taking the tone down thing, bringing the highlights back out immediately starts to bring things to life, and it's really fun. But I should have given myself some more time here. But I'll come back and do some more. I'm doing a scrubbing effect right now where I don't use very much medium, so it's kind of dry paint, and I'm just kind of scrubbing it in there, and it just starts to tone things up and gives more texture, and it's really fun. It's very satisfying feeling. Try to be careful not to lose all these kind of drippy marks. Yeah, don't forget to eat. I know. I haven't forgotten. I am hungry. Okay guys, that's where I'm going to leave you for now. Hope to be back later on. Depends on how things go with my son. Whether he's going to go to sleep. He's 4 months old, so he's still kind of temperamental when it comes to bedtime. I'm assuming he will be for a while. I'm going to bring the camera over so you can see some of the qualities of the paint that I'm talking about. Okay, so see, I'm starting to put the thicker paint on, light paint on, and it's really starting to make that the depth of the parts that go back into the building and the light parts on the surface of the building feel much more solid. Starting to bring the highlights in the bricks and the stonework out there. Over here, just put some touches. This part down here is starting to get kind of exciting. And over here, see, I'm really liking that kind of cage feel now. It's starting to really feel authentic. The painting as a whole is starting to feel more authentic to me. Not that it's like a modern, fresh piece. I want it to feel like a contemporary piece that has antiquity to it, if that makes any sense. Okay, so that's where we are with it. As I normally do, I'll just put the camera in front, give you the whole picture. Hey Chloe, D99, thank you for the follow. You caught me just before I signed out, so thank you so much. Hopefully if you've been watching and you're interested, you'll come back later on when I stream. I'll either be streaming later tonight or tomorrow. Either way, I'll be streaming tomorrow. Give me 1 second here, and then I'll just see if I can fix the camera. There we go. Okay, so I just changed the contrast to a nighttime because we lost the light in here because it's nighttime here in London now. And you can see the tone of the painting better now. Takes that glare off of it. And that's closer to what it looks like to my eye. It's quite dark. Either earlier on we had Jenny G. Berry. If you don't follow Jenny, follow her. She's a great artist. She came in earlier and said hello and talked about how gloomy London is, and she's right, especially today. I like the gloom though. I'm kind of embracing the gloom. And you can see that in the painting, hopefully. Okay guys, thank you so much for being here with me. Thank you so much, Nissan. Yep, thanks. I don't want to pass out from the fumes, definitely. Don't want to go brain dead either. I need to still have a brain at the end of this. So, thank you guys. Take care. I will see you later.